Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Somebody's trying to do something really unique by putting like three of these in different size. And we finally figured it out. But this is I started looking at a poor image. Poor, 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 poor. You might as well do it right. And it's a power clip, which I can't stand. So I'm going to extract the contents, and there's my colors. Now, we might be able to clean this thing up, but I doubt it. I'm going to left click, right click. And see, it's got some weird lines, broken lines. I'm just going to take the initiative to draw this from scratch. And probably the best way to do this, I didn't practice, would be to take the rectangle tool and then take the shape tool. Okay, I'm going to start with nothing selected. I'm going to hit it. With nothing selected, I'm going to hit F12 on the keyboard. And I'm going to change your graphic drawing line to hairline. Doesn't matter if it's millimeters or whatever. I want to draw on hairline. And there's a reason for that. Now I can take the shape tool and holding down the shift key, not holding, hold down the control button and do those three sides. See, we've kind of got that circle. And just kind of bear with me. And see, that's one reason I don't like power clip. We're going to change that in just a second. But now I'm going to control or hit the plus key on the keyboard, and I'm going to just bring that up. And I wish I could, you know what? There we go. See, there's some garbage right there. And these lines are power clip lines. So it's still rough, but now I'll be able to work with it. So let's put this one right here. And see, it's still trying to put it in the power clip. That's why I don't like it. I'm going to make them both a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to build this. You know what? Let's try this. Here's a good trick. Let's take a rectangle, take the smart fill tool, fill it in, and there's our shape. And we won't have a power clip. I'm just going to get rid of this. And don't worry about that right there. I'm going to left click, right click. There's our, matter of fact, we might, see, it's still rough. So, but now we can work with it at least. I'm going to grab this one right here, and I'm pretty close to the good, perfect size. I'm going to call that good. Okay, what I'm going to do also, I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to work in the center of the page. So I'm going to hit, now this won't center. Yeah, it won't center because of that. The box itself. You know what? Okay, here we can center it. Let's take this object and take the smart fill tool, fill that in, get rid of this, and then hit P to center that. And then I'm going to left click and right click in red. So now we're in the center. And I'm just showing right now how to draw this object. There's probably several ways. And then I'm going to Control D, alternate C to have it rotate from the center of the page. And if we look, well, alternate C should make it rotate from the center of the page. Let's rotate it. It isn't going to work. Yep. There's something in this drawing that's not allowed. You know what? I had 2 copies. Well, that was part of it. I made 2 copies, but okay. Let's go Control D, alternate C. There we go. And rotate it 90 degrees. 90 degrees. See, that put it right in the middle, right where I wanted it. Okay, there's kind of our drawing now. I got rid of the original. And then, well, let's just do this. Let's let's move this box out of the way. I'm going to move that back. I'm going to change it to like 15 millimeters maybe. And I'm going to move that out of the way for a second. And I got rid of what it really looks like. That's a bad thing. You know, here's a good lesson. I'm going to Control C to copy all that, and I'm going to back up. And that way I still won't lose my work if I have enough backup. I don't have enough backup, maybe. Come on, baby. Okay, that's good. Now I can move all this stuff out of the way, and I've got at least what it looks like. Well, you know, it doesn't have the circles. Let me keep backing up. I'm going to run out of backup. I've got my backup set pretty high because when I help people, I have to. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's what it looks like in the thickness of the line. Now, because I copied that, I can paste that now, and I got that back. So I need these thickness of lines here. I'm going to group that together. You know, I maybe could have traced them. But then I'm going to take a rectangle that size. I should have done this in the beginning, holding down the control button. I'm going to hit P and make it a little smaller. And it's funny because I'm doing all this, I'm not really helping. Okay, now we're seeing, because I've nudged, I'm right on. And then it's kind of hard because we're going to, okay, there, now we got this. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to weld it. Now I'm going to make the 10 millimeters too much. Well, the best way to do this, let me think about this here. Well, you know, here we go. Here's another way. This might not be the best way, but I'm going to take a 2-point line, go from there to there. 2-point line, go from there to there. 2-point line to go from there to there. 2-point line to go from there to there. And I am going to take the virtual segment delete key and delete that. See, that gets us that square, and that's about the right size. You know what I should have done? Let me try this. Let me try welding. No, that ain't going to work. Because I need those holes. I wish I would have kept that original. I did. That's perfect. See, that's our original item. You know what? I made it smaller though, but I can make this smaller. Holding down the shift key. I'm going to change my nudge factor to like 0.1. That might be too little in millimeters. Holding down the shift key just a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to take that item and go up to Effects and Contour. See, I'm not used to working in millimeters. That thing's only 9. So let's contour just 2 to the inside. I got lucky. Okay, now I'm going to I have to break the contour apart. Object, break contour apart. Get rid of that extra. I'm just going to nudge that up. Well, change my nudge factor back to like 20 and nudge this out of the way and get that one line. There we go. Now I'm going to put this back, and I'm going to take this and Control D, alternate C, and rotate it 90 degrees. Control D, Control D. There we go. That was, and maybe was the easiest way to do it. Now what I want to do is fill that in with the Smart Fill tool. And what that's going to do, it's going to make all that one piece. Okay? All that roundabout just to get to there. Now I'm going to left click, right click. And he powered clip. I can't stand power clipping. And here's, this is so much better. I'm going to select both these. I'm going to hit P. Now we can see the black, so it's on top. You know what? I'm going to have to make the box just a little bit bigger and hit P again. And then I'm going to select them both and I'm going to go to intersect. And look at that. Now, okay, I did a no-no. Move it out of the way and then take your outline if you want that outline. And then also, we want to make it, wow. Let's say that, but I'm going to hit F12 and scale it with object. Now I'm going to group this together. All right, now we can start on the problem. And I wish I would have kept that one because now if you look at mine compared to his, mine is perfect. So we're going to do this rectangle. See, that's a power clip. And we'll do this small rectangle. Now to get, without worrying about removing the power clip, I'm going to draw a rectangle around those two shapes and get the Smart Fill tool and fill that in, and then fill that in, fill that in. And that is our shape of our rectangle. Now I'm going to left click, right click, and see those are hairlines. So now we want to go back to the center of the page. And we'll go and take both these and hit P, put them in the center of the page. And we'll go and bring this in close. And the first one is the small one. Well, I'm going to do the big one first. The big one is 2.879 wide. So I'm going to make a duplicate of that. And I'm going to make it with my ratio locked. I'm the world's worst. 2.879. 2.879. Okay, and hit P. This is going to, I mean, it's going to take just a little bit of time. Then select your box and hit T. Then select this, Control D and make a duplicate, and select your box and hit B for bottom. Now, in this one, you might want to put 4, but I'm only going to do 2. And then we're going to open up the blend docker, effects, and blend. And we're going to blend them just, wow, it's not letting me blend them. It should let me blend them. Whoop. Well, that is something. I've never really seen that with the blend. Let me make sure my blend is working. Get 2 objects. Yeah, see, the blend is working. There's something about that it doesn't like. Maybe it's the other colors. But, so I'm not going to help him that much. Because then you would make a duplicate of and the same thing, make a duplicate of that and hit shift select this and hit C and E, EC, really just E. So there's one of them. Now, if you need an outline that's thicker, you would just turn it to a little bit thicker outline. That's too thick. Okay. Now on the small one, I made a copy of it, is only, it's only 0.771. So my ratio lock, 0.771. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to hit P on both these. That might be that key right there. Okay, that'll work a lot faster. Control D to make a duplicate, then shift select the box and hit B for bottom. Select that, Control D, select the box and hit T for top. Now I don't know what size we made that outline, but it's 1 millimeter. And really we just need to do it on the box. See, that's 0.1 millimeters. Well, that's what I got. That's 0.1 millimeters. Let's change it back to a hairline. Well, yeah, it's 0.1, but the other was, and you know, another way I just thought about doing this. Let's see if this doesn't work. Control G to group it. This thing is 0.77, 0.771. Make a duplicate of it and make this with a ratio lock 0.771. And because we probably made, no, see the outline is still too thick. Let me take this outline, hit F12, scale with object is not selected. There we go. Then take this, make a duplicate of it, 0.771. Look at that. So that's all you have to do. Once you get one rectangle and do what I did, you know, you could do all three sizes. See, that's why I don't like the power clip. So let's, you know, just extract, select contents. No, see, it's not worth the extra effort put into it. And so I'm just going to do that old school thing about filling that in. And on this one, I'm going to left click, right click. And I don't even have to do that. This one is 0.656. I just need to know the size. Control D, 0.656. And there you have, that even looks smaller than the, that's not right. What was the measurement? I'm telling you, 1.56. So Control D, 1.565. Now you have all three sizes. And if your ratio is locked, object to line is locked. Now the only thing, the border kind of covered up part of the logo. The only other thing, well, let's try this. One more thing. This is a long video, and I apologize. And if you have no interest ever doing this, I'm going to go ahead and break this apart. I'm going to take my logo, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page, get rid of that. I'm going to take and convert this object, convert the outline to an object. And then I'm going to left click, right click. Then I'm going to take this and hit P. Now it's still trying to, well, you know what? Let's, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Go up to object and break the curve apart. Now let's take this inside one. Let's move this out of the way for a second. That's one advantage of hitting P. See, that way it put it inside. No, it's still hanging over. That's because that's 2779. Yeah. So what you could do is make it that 22.779. 2.779. See, now it's going to fit. So it's in the center of the page. Control D, make a duplicate. Shift select that and hit T. Shift select the box and hit T. Select that again. Shift select the box or the rectangle and hit B for bottom. I didn't make a duplicate. So just make another duplicate and put P. Now we can take this, even though we moved it, I can hit P. So now your logo is inside there. Well, actually it's not, because your outline is a line, and that's another can of worms there, but you can deal with that. And then once you get, now what's so cool about this, Control G to group, Control D to duplicate. No matter what size you make the next one, the outline is going to stay the same width. Anyway, sorry for the long video. I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.